Out of 8 billion people alive right now, you are one of the very few who's going to hear what I'm about to say. That's not an accident. It's not the algorithm. It's not a timing coincidence. I brought you here because what happened to you needed to be named. It needed to be seen. And I saw it. Stick around until the end. Before this is over, you're going to receive the protocol that will show you how to release the weight of the person who hurt you without losing the justice that's already running in your favor. Don't leave now. I know how it went. I know what it cost you. And what I'm going to reveal today is going to change everything you thought about every single moment you chose not to stoop to their level. You remember that day. You don't even have to close your eyes to see it. You gave it everything you had. You worked harder than anyone else. You showed up early. You stayed late. You delivered more than was required, and the promotion went to the person who deserved it the least, not to the one who worked the hardest, to the one who knew how to play the game you refused to play. And you sat there staring at it, unable to explain how the wrong could be rewarded so heavily. And all around you, the people who should have said something stayed silent, not because they lacked a voice, because they lacked the guts. They saw what happened. They saw it was unfair. And they chose silence. And that silence hurt worse than the injustice itself, because you didn't need them to win the war for you. You just needed one word. Just one. And it never came. And still, you picked up your phone and typed, "I'm fine," with a hand that was shaking. You sent that message with a smile on your face that didn't exist anywhere inside of you, because there was no room for one more burden in that moment. And you learned how to fold up your pain and stuff it in your pocket so you could keep moving through the day. And at night, when everything got quiet, you took inventory. You went through the list of everything you did right, the way you acted, the choices you didn't regret. And even though you got everything right, the result never came. And the question you didn't want to let out of your mouth came out inside your head instead. Why do the right thing if it doesn't change anything? You're still standing. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part? You start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video. And instead, why do the right thing if it doesn't change anything? You're still standing. That matters. You didn't break. You didn't surrender to bitterness. You didn't do what they did. And heaven recorded every second of it. The like on this video is your public amen. Heaven registers what you confess openly. If this word reached you, click it now. Before I reveal the 3 gifts you're going to receive in this video, you need to hear something. I placed you here because this word is for you, not for the person standing next to you. For you, the pain you went through was not punishment. It was the test heaven used to separate you from the ones who react with rage, from scarcity to abundance, from invisibility to recognition, from carrying the bill to handing it over to heaven. First promise. Before this video ends, you will understand that the pain was not a detour from your destiny. It was the path heaven chose to show you what you're made of. Second promise. You will learn the protocol that frees you from the weight of the person who hurt you, without giving up the justice that has already been activated upstairs. Third promise. By the end, you will be able to declare, with your voice and your mouth, that the bill has been taken over by heaven, that it has left your hands, and that what begins now is different from everything you've lived through up to this point. Stay. What comes next is what you've needed to hear longer than you realize. Close your eyes for a moment. Not for long, just long enough to stop dividing your attention. Because the signs I'm about to describe are signs you're already living through. And if your head is in two places at once, you're going to miss the most important thing. Take a deep breath. Here it comes. The first sign. Things started moving in your favor without you having moved a thing. A door that was closed opened up. Good news came from somewhere you never expected. A resource showed up without you having asked for it. You called it luck. You called it coincidence. You called it, finally, something going right. But it wasn't luck. Heaven rearranged the board while you were on your knees. While you were doing the right thing with no audience, the board was being repositioned. That sign is heaven responding to your silence with movement. The second sign. You looked at the person who hurt you and felt something you didn't expect. Not anger. Not the desire to see them suffer. A strange stillness. An inner distance, like they had shrunk in size in your vision. And that confused you, because you didn't make any decision to forgive. You didn't say any specific prayer about it. It just happened. You called it indifference. You called it emotional exhaustion. You called it, I guess I'm going cold. But that wasn't it. It was certainty. It was the sign that something had been resolved in a place you don't control. The stillness you're feeling isn't resignation. It's the sound of a bill that has left your hands. The third sign. News came about the person who caused you the pain. Not good news. News that the ground underneath their feet wasn't as solid as it seemed when they were stepping all over you, and you felt something complicated. Not euphoria, not celebration. A quiet confirmation that what you always knew was true. That there was an accounting that wasn't yours to keep. You called it guilt for feeling that way. You called it, I shouldn't feel like this. But what you were feeling was the witness of a justice that runs outside of you. Heaven didn't ask you to carry out the verdict. It only asked you to be still while it acted. The next sign is the hardest one to hear. It's the one the enemy spent the most time trying to make you ignore. Because as long as you don't recognize this sign, he can keep you trapped without you even realizing it. The fourth sign, the desire to get even, simply disappeared. Not gradually. At some point you realized it just wasn't there anymore, and that scared you. Because at least the anger was familiar. It had texture. It had shape. You knew what to do with it. And when it left, it made room for an empty space you didn't know how to name. You called it weakness. You called it, I'm accepting something I shouldn't accept. You called it a betrayal of your own pain. But it wasn't any of that. It was freedom. The desire to get back at them left, because you are no longer a hostage to what they did to you. And when you're free, you become dangerous to the enemy's scheme. That's why he spent so much time trying to convince you that holding on to anger was strength. Because without it, you become uncontrollable to him. Type free in the comments if these signs have come to you. Heaven registers the public confession. Close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you won't work if your attention is divided. Stay here with me for a few more minutes. What comes next is the part that changes everything. I want to take you inside a story. Not because it's beautiful, because it's yours. There's a man in the Bible who was anointed for the throne when he was still young. Chosen, marked, set apart. And before he could reign, he went through the hardest years of his life. Not because of enemies from the outside, but because of the people who were close to him. Saul, the king, started hunting David with a hatred that had no rational explanation. There was no crime. There was no betrayal. There was only the favor of God on David that made him a threat to a man who used the throne to prop himself up. And what did David do? He ran. He hid. He survived in the wilderness, in caves, surrounded by men who had also been discarded. And at one point, he had the perfect chance. Saul was asleep in the camp. The guards had closed their eyes. David got close enough to end it all with a single move. And he didn't do it. Not because he was scared. Not because he was weak. Because he recognized that the bill wasn't his to collect. That the justice over Saul wasn't his responsibility. And that if he touched the Lord's anointed, he would become the same size as Saul. David chose not to stoop to that level, and heaven lifted him above it all. But the story doesn't end at the coronation. It ends with the portrait of who David became after going through it. Not a bitter king who ruled in fear of being betrayed again. A king who understood the weight of injustice because he had lived in it, and because of that, he ruled with a wisdom that others had no way of acquiring unless they had gone through the same thing. The injustice didn't deform David. It calibrated him. Now let me show you the same truth with a different image. Think about gold. Gold, when it's pulled out of the ground, doesn't come ready. It comes mixed in with rock, with clay, with impurity. And the process that turns that mixture into pure gold has a name: the furnace. The gold doesn't run from the heat. The heat is what reveals what the gold is. The impurity rises. The gold stays. And the refiner, who keeps his eyes on the process the whole time, knows that the right moment to pull the metal out of the fire is when he can see his own reflection on the surface. When the gold has become so pure that the refiner sees himself in it. You went through the furnace. Not because heaven was careless, because heaven knew what was inside of you, and it wanted the world to know it too. You didn't win by pushing the weight away. You won by staying whole while the weight tried to bend you. The furnace didn't burn you. It revealed what was always there. Type in the comments, David or gold, the word that came closest to you today. Let me stop for a full minute. You were hurt by someone who was close to you, and you didn't stoop to their level. That wasn't weakness. That was the most expensive choice there is. You kept doing the right thing even with no audience, with no visible reward, with no one telling you it was worth it. Heaven's silence was never absence. It was the time of recording, and every second of your attitude was counted. And here is who you are inside all of this. What you are about to hear is not a human title. It's what I call you when I speak to heaven about you. It's not who you are trying to become. It's who you already are. Pay attention. First identity. You are the righteous one who did not retaliate. I saw the moment. I was there. You had the power. You had the right. You had the validity. And you chose not to get your hands dirty. Not because it didn't hurt, but because you knew, even if you couldn't put it into words, that dropping to that level would cost you more than the pain already had. I saw that choice. I registered it. And here is what it authorizes. You can stop trying to prove you were right. The verdict has already been handed down. Not in the court of men, in the one that matters. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. Second identity. You are the trustworthy one of the kingdom. I saw when no one else was looking. I saw the meeting where you gave your best knowing the credit was going to someone else's name. I saw the moment when you could have slacked off and no one would have noticed. And you didn't slack off, because it wasn't about what other people saw. It was about who you are when no one is watching. I was watching, and here is what this identity authorizes. You can start receiving what was denied to you. Because now there is someone to trust. Not just anyone gets what I'm about to move. It's the one who proved they can carry with faithfulness what I place in their hands. Third identity. You are the chosen one because of your attitude. Among everyone who suffered the same pain, among everyone who was betrayed, ignored, passed over, your response was different. It wasn't perfect from a human point of view, but it was the one that moved heaven. Because it wasn't performance. It was character. And character that holds up under fire is rare. I did not choose you despite the pain. I chose you because of how you conducted yourself inside of it. And here is what this authorizes. You can stop feeling invisible. You have been marked by name. You have a name in heaven that is not the name the people who ignored you used when they talked about you. Type in the comments the name of the identity that came to you. And if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, subscribe now. What comes next is the protocol, and you're not going to want to miss it. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be launched against you. Not as a possibility, as a certainty. And I need to protect you before you leave here. But before that, I need to deliver what was promised. The protocol is called the handover of the bill. 3 steps. Simple, but not shallow. Step 1. Name out loud, in a low voice, the person and the specific act that hurt you. Don't soften it. Don't exaggerate it. The name, the act, the way it happened. No editing, no emotional padding. Because what you cannot name, you cannot hand over. Step 2. Declare, also out loud, that you are returning the collection of that debt to heaven. That your hand is off of it. Not because it doesn't matter, but because there is a higher authority that collects better than you do. That has more information than you do. That doesn't miss a single detail. And that the bill will be collected, but not by you. Step 3. Bless your own future. 1 sentence. Simple. Anything that declares that what comes next is separated from what was left behind. That your next chapter is not conditioned on the resolution of the previous chapter. You don't have to wait for an apology to start living what has been prepared for you. The sign that the protocol worked is not euphoria. It's not immediate relief. It's a stillness in your chest. The same stillness you already started feeling in the signs. Recognize it when it comes. Type "received" in the comments if you are receiving this protocol now. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be launched against you. Not as a possibility, as a certainty. The first tactic, justified anger. It's going to show up dressed up as reason. It's going to say, you have every right to feel this way. And it's going to be telling the truth. You do. But its goal is not to validate your pain. It's to keep you handcuffed to the person who hurt you. As long as the anger is alive, you stay connected to them. As long as you stay connected to them, they still have access to your inner space. Justified anger is the hardest chain to break because it looks noble, but it keeps you trapped. The second tactic, the mental replay. It's going to show up disguised as a search for understanding. I just need to understand what really happened. And it's going to make you relive the scene. With details. With variations. With alternate versions of what you should have said. And every time you relive it, the wound doesn't close. The wound opens up again, and the cycle starts over. The replay does not serve understanding. It serves retention. While you are reliving, you are not moving forward. The third tactic, the wait for an apology. It's going to show up as a sense of justice. It's going to say that letting go without receiving an apology is giving in. It's approving. It's saying everything is fine when it's not. And it's going to condition your peace on a regret that may never come. Letting go is not approving what was done. Letting go is stopping giving power to what was done over your present. Your peace cannot depend on a decision someone else has to make. And there is an internal enemy. It's the voice that's going to say, if you let go, it means it didn't really hurt. That voice is not yours. It speaks the language of your pain, but it does not work in your favor. Freedom is not a betrayal of your own pain. It's the proof that the pain did not define you. Type "protected" in the comments. The decree has been sealed. Now we have arrived at the most important moment of this video. I want you to do something. Put your hand over your chest. Open palm, feeling the warmth of your own touch. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Once. One more time. Now, with that open hand over your chest, think about the things you are going to release. The name of the person who hurt you. The need to be acknowledged as being right. The bill you have been carrying in place of heaven. Feel the weight of them. And when you are ready, turn your hand, palm facing up, like someone who is letting something go, like someone who is handing over what is no longer yours to carry. Now let me speak to you. I saw the day you walked into that meeting with your best work ready. I saw what was written on your face when the credit went to someone else's name. I saw the effort you swallowed along with the forced smile, and it didn't leave through the door it should have. You stayed quiet. You stayed standing. And you sent that "I'm fine" with a hand that was shaking. I know the hand was shaking. I was there. I saw your fingers on the phone. I saw the message sent. I saw what you closed up inside yourself to be able to type those 2 words. I saw the nights of inventory. The unanswered questions spoken out loud in the dark. The why do the right thing if it doesn't change anything? That came out more like a plea than a question. I heard every single one. I was not distant. I was listening in silence, because the silence of heaven is not abandonment. It's the sound of a machinery in motion that hasn't finished positioning itself yet. You did not go through this because I forgot about you. You went through this because I knew what was in you, and I needed the world to know it too. The furnace did not destroy you. It revealed the gold. And now I can see myself clearly in you. The bill you have been carrying is no longer yours. The collection has left your hands. The justice that was dammed up is going to flow. Not on your timeline, but on the right one. And what has been prepared for you? No one in the world has the power to hold back, because your behavior inside the pain released an authority over your life that goes beyond what was taken from you. Your mind is covered. Your relationships are covered. Your work, your health, everything that is being built right now is covered. And what is coming will not catch you by surprise. It will arrive as confirmation of what you were already feeling. That something was being prepared. That the stillness was not the end. It was the transition. Say it out loud now. The bill is no longer mine. I have been chosen. Say it again if you need to, with the voice you have, with the conviction you are building right now. This declaration is not about what you feel. It's about what you are choosing to believe. Type "done" in the comments. And if there is one person in your life who was also hurt unfairly, who also acted with dignity and did not receive the recognition they deserved, share this video with them right now. One specific person, with the name in your head. They need to hear that they were seen too. It is done. What was delivered here has been delivered. You are not the same person you were when this message started. And the next video I have prepared for you continues this movement. Don't miss it. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part? You start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video.